A lot of people are afraid of blind buying perfumes, buying perfumes online and not knowing what they smell like beforehand, because obviously you could end up with a perfume that you can't stand, so it's a big waste of money. But going all the way to a store to smell a bunch of perfumes and samples, it takes a lot of time and energy. Not a lot of people want to bother with that. So there are a few tricks you can do to correctly blind buy perfumes, but the main thing is do your research, figure out what kind of scents that you like. Do you like sweet scents? Do you like, spicy scents? So that can narrow down what you're looking for, but there are certain perfumes that you really can't go wrong with. Most people enjoy them. You can't go wrong with them. So I'll review some fragrances that you could probably blind buy without any problems. So a really popular and very simple one is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women. Very simple. Most people, I can't think of anyone who doesn't like this because it's so simple and it's so agreeable. The main notes are citrus and Granny Smith apple on the top notes, and there's some floral notes as well. But it's really those two main notes, the citrus and the apple, that show through, which makes this extremely refreshing, light, very pleasant, crisp and clean. That's a very good way to describe light blue. And it's despite those fruit notes, it's not too sweet. It's not like a sugary fragrance. Very natural, refreshing fragrance. You can imagine yourself standing in a lemon grove or an apple orchard or something along those lines. So buying this without smelling it beforehand, you can just imagine what a Granny Smith apple smells like, maybe with a freshly squeezed lemon somewhere nearby. And that's a very accurate description of light blue. It really smells like real apples, at least to me. And it lasts a surprisingly long time. Oftentimes lighter notes won't last too long, but this one lasts quite a long time, which is nice. You won't have to reapply it too much. It's a very good daytime fragrance, good for going out, getting groceries, going to work, that sort of thing. Very inoffensive, so 99% of people are going to like light blue. It's just a very smooth fragrance. The next one is actually similar. Miss Dior from Dior. This is a bit more luxurious choice, but this is primarily a floral and fruity fragrance. It's similarly light and refreshing like light blue, not quite as refreshing or crisp as light blue, but still very light, definitely very feminine, with all those floral notes mixed in. And there are also some wood notes thrown into the base notes. But it's a very well-rounded fragrance. It's also a very good daytime option, good for getting the groceries, taking a walk, just any occasion you could think of. It's probably going to be a good choice. It's very versatile. And it's also pretty much equally as inoffensive as light blue. It's, unless you hate florals for some reason, you're going to like this. So, it's also surprisingly long-lasting. A lot of pure floral perfumes won't last too long, but this one does, which is an extra bonus. It's surprisingly potent for a floral perfume, and yet not overwhelming. It's not super sugary. It has more of that natural floral kind of nectar sweetness, which is very nice. Very refreshing and feminine. And again, it's hard to go wrong with that one. Even if you've never smelled it before, you're most likely gonna like it. That's a good choice if you don't know, what to get for your blind buy choices. Another one, which is a classic, you've probably smelled it, even if you haven't owned it before, Chanel No. 5. This is, I believe, the most popular perfume in the world for women. A lot of men also use it. It's a very pleasant fragrance. It's also a floral fragrance with aldehydes, which make it very light and crisp, but it also has a certain warmth from civet notes, musk, oak moss, and some wood notes. So that's better if you're looking for something with a bit of warmth, a bit more layers. It's not your typical floral, refreshing, sweet fragrance. It's actually not that sweet at all. There's some natural sweet notes from the florals, but it has more of a warmth to it compared to your average floral perfume. So it's also good if you enjoy civet notes and musk. Those give it more of a natural warmth. And I mean, it's a classic fragrance. It's extremely well-rounded, well-balanced. Lasts a long time, especially for floral perfume. And some people don't like this fragrance, but those are small groups of people. You probably wouldn't like it if you prefer strictly modern perfumes, because Chanel No. 5 came out in 1921, which is more than 100 years ago. It still has a nice, it always remains modern, but some people prefer a different category. You also might not like it if you don't like civet, because civet is a very prominent animalistic note, which kind of grounds those florals and the aldehydes. So if you don't like those, I guess stay clear from No. 5. But other than that, I mean, the majority of people enjoy this perfume. It's a classic. It's hard to go wrong with it. So there's that. Another one here, Dolce & Gabbana The One. This is for women versus the men's version. This is also floral, but it has some warmer and spicier notes. It has like moderate sweetness, so it's not sugary sweet, but it's not super dry, kind of in the middle. And it feels luxurious. It feels, this is good for the evening. You can also wear it for the daytime, but it's particularly good for the evening. And it doesn't have any kind of crispness or refreshingness. This is more of a toned down, a bit heavier fragrance. So that's good if you're looking for something, if you're not looking for the bright, crisp perfumes, you want something a bit different. Dolce & Gabbana The One is a good choice. It's also, even though it is kind of a different category from these other ones here, it's still very inoffensive. It's a very pleasant scent. There's no kind of notes that would stand out and really offend your nose, at least not that I can think of. Very balanced, a relatively simple fragrance, so that's a good choice. And if you are looking specifically for a spicier perfume, then Coco by Chanel is a good choice. And of course, if you don't like spicy perfumes, this would not be a good choice, but this is one of the best spicy perfumes I've come across, because it's not like a blast of black pepper or anything. It's mainly cloves, cinnamon, some florals, wood notes, and vanilla. So all that kind of wraps it up into this very warm, very kind of seductive scent, very, very well layered. It's strong. It's definitely a stronger scent, but it's not so strong that it's going to give you a headache or anything. It's definitely good for the evenings, good for formal events, cold weather, all that. And the vanilla note is very nice because it softens the spice notes, so they're not overwhelming. They're all just kind of, everything is nicely balanced, everything is smoothed out. So Coco is definitely a good choice if you're looking for something a little bit spicier and warmer. So that's pretty much what I have to say about these perfumes if you're looking to blind buy any of them. Most of these are very inoffensive. Most people enjoy them. But of course you have to know what you're looking for. You don't want to buy a spicy perfume if you only like, I don't know, light florals. So if you have any other recommendations or opinions about blind buying perfumes, you can leave those down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe. And I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.